Is going to be phenomenal. Not exactly Bavarian weather. I just looked. Munich is a 59-degree high today.
Woo!
We were a little warmer than that, but at least we were at our average for this time of year. Normal is 83. That is where we topped out at Kenner, and generally lower, some mid-80s. So we finally are starting to feel like it is supposed to. Began the morning with a little bit of lingering cloud cover, but quickly saw that dissipate and been under mostly sunny skies for the better part of the afternoon. Beautiful out looking toward downtown. Actually 84, interesting enough. That is now the high for the day. So when our climate data came out was 83. Now we're at 84, but still feels nice. Dew points lower 60s, humidity right now only at 49%, and lower 80s outside. With that drier air, temperatures will be able to get cooler faster with dew points in the lower 60s, and eventually we'll see the dew points get into the 50s over the weekend. So it is dry now. It'll be even drier for our Saturday, Sunday, and likely continuing into early next week. And notice, even through next week, we don't expect a surge of the Gulf moisture to come back in. So we will stay on the low humid side through the next 7 days, although by next week, a little change in the upper pattern will likely start warming us up. But still, if we get rid of the humidity or at least keep it low, it makes it feel very pleasant. Generally a northerly wind outside, and that'll be the case throughout the weekend. So beautiful afternoons on the way. Our mornings, dare I say, cool, as we'll see 50s on the North Shore and generally in the city 60s. Get away from the city, may get into the upper 50s, low 60s, Bayou region, river parishes, but high temperatures generally right at or just below normal for the next several days. Strong northeasterly wind will continue for the next several days, but out on the East Coast, boy, different story. There is a surge of moisture we have been talking about over the last couple of days, and what is likely going to happen is a non-tropical low will form, and this is going to evolve into a nor'easter. With it, they can easily bring tropical storm to hurricane force winds. They're not a purely tropical system, but they can still kick up the seas, heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Now, it is still a question as to whether or not this actually moves inland over the Carolinas or up toward the Northeast. This is a longer range model look from the Euro. And again, this is going to be very, very close to the coastline. Now, obviously, if it stays offshore, that's where the worst conditions will be. But if this hugs the coast or moves just inland, we could see some rough conditions along the eastern seaboard. And also interesting, the Euro kind of splits it off and has two lows forming, and maybe what we've been talking about the last time we were dealing with tropical weather off the East Coast, we might actually get the Fujiwara effect from two non-tropical lows off the East Coast. So some more active weather along the East Coast for us, very quiet. I had to really widen out my Atlantic map here to include what is now post-tropical storm Karen. This lasted as a subtropical system for 18 hours out in the middle of the North Atlantic. This is one that the Hurricane Center probably did not need to name, so kind of a waste of a name. But we also have Jerry, which is now moving away from the islands. However, because of the position of the storm center and all the storms removed from the center, they're still getting in on some very heavy rainfall over the islands. Notice here is the center of Jerry, not embedded within the heavier thunderstorm. So the expectation is that this will not strengthen as it moves toward Bermuda, but eventually makes a turn away from the island as we head by the end of the week and weekend. And as far as long-term forecasts go for any further tropical development, this is taking us right through October 20th. The Euro, no real signals for northwestern Caribbean development. It has a few little low pressure centers trying to form, maybe a few more signals, but certainly nothing well organized in the the GFS, and kind of has a little low center going all over the place. So very low confidence in anything additional forming more toward the end of next week. And again, the pattern we're under, nothing would really come our way. 82 to 83 degrees our afternoon highs, mornings in the 50s and 60s. That less humid air sticks with us through next week.